G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. Thought it's late winter here in Melbourne, coming up to early spring. Some things are starting to move, but I thought I'd do a quick little walkthrough of the garden again. Remember, I just live in a courtyard, so I don't have much space, but I try and make the best use of my space. So this is a black pine that's featured in my collection quite a bit, and in my videos quite a while, so that's looking nice and healthy. Probably needs a bit of a wiring when I get a chance, but we'll leave it at that at the moment. Looking really nice trunk, nice movement, nice healthy foliage. Move over to this huge spruce. You can see the size of it with the fence in the background. Really, I'm starting to enjoy this tree. It's really quite nice. It's very tall, it's very slender, and the foliage pads are developing quite nicely. Looking forward to the new shoots popping and the new foliage coming out. It'll look really good. This is just a little black pine that you've seen around. It's a nice little twisted up trunk, looking good. Now this I did lay mid last year. It's a 3-trunk spruce. It's really healthy. Probably just needs a bit of a rewire now that after its first wiring. So I'll look at doing that later in the year. The nice and healthy. Look forward to their spring growth as well. Should be good. Okay, so this is the Cedar elm that I have. Very old, beautiful mature bark, craggly bark, and the tiniest of foliage. Tiniest little thing. It's beautiful. When it's in full foliage it looks great as well, but yeah, see the ramification on that, all the branching. I've got a black pine here, you would have seen before, really interesting base, big fat, crazy looking tree, but that needs work, that needs time to really start to develop and build up more foliage. This is a huge Juniper spermata. I'm trying to graft Shimpaku onto it, so approach grafting. We'll see. I think some of them are okay, some of them we'll see. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep doing it. See there? So there's the 2 live veins that run up the tree, which is really cool, interesting to see. And from my recent videos, this is that trident maple that I repotted. I've just found a new angle for the base. Look at that. If I replanted at that angle, it looks much better than that angle. See? I just got to get the right pot for it, so that big root can fit inside it. It is what it is. I can't do much about it unless I reduce that root a bit more over time, but it's looking okay. I found a new angle for it. The Trident Forest group. This is a little ginkgo here. It's a ginkgo. It's a dwarf ginkgo, and that's looking good too. And I've already repotted this guy for you guys. It's looking really nice, this Trident maple. I do have a Chinese quince that I'm trying to grow, and you can see the flowers starting to come on this one. It's a bit big, but I'll eventually reduce it. But it's got really nice flowers, white, pretty, really nice flowers there. Move on to this guy. It's another Trident maple, bit bigger, bit of a big base, nice size. This is the one that had the approach graft I put on there. See that one there? The camera from the back. And it's grafted on there nicely. I don't really like it 100%, but it's okay. It's at least it's going to put me a branch in that spot, so that's good. Move on to my lovely tridents. Probably can't see it too well with the background. I didn't repot this tree this year. That's going really well. That's got a nice big hollow in it, inside it, all the way through the trunk. My trident root over a rock. The root on the side of a rock. Or planted on the side of a rock with this. That rock is actually quite stunning, but the tree is even better. And everyone really comments about this huge Trident maple. It's a decent sized tree, probably a metre tall. I love the big muscly kind of looking base. You can see the ripples of, the roots and the vein going up the tree. It looks really nice. I've just got to cut off it because this rain's getting a bit intense. Okay. And this is that Japanese maple that I didn't have a right pot for, but that's all nicely looking good and healthy. Just there's some Trident seedlings that I've shown you in the past. They're just growing. They got some nice bends in them. They're for another time. This lovely Trident. Oh, it's a real nice tree coming along. And this one's the one I've been commenting on about how I want it to make a more natural looking tree. Got a few bits and pieces there. A nice huge Shimpaku that I use for air layering on there. Another lovely big trident. Probably another metre tall. Probably a little bit smaller than the other tree, just a tiny bit smaller. But you can see some of the ramifications starting to happen, and they're very natural. I'm trying not to wire as many of my trees as I used to wire them to avoid that. Lovely here, that is that Chinese maple I repotted, healthy. Down here is just a whole stack of trident seedlings that I've got in pots that I've just put it there in the bed and letting them grow. Whole stash of them. Now, if you've been following my last video, here are all the Shinpaku cuttings and air layers that I said I was just going to put in a bed and let them grow on. So there you go, as promised. That's what I've done. Given them a bit of room each, nothing too major. Hopefully just the shoots will just shoot up and just go for it, and that whole area will be totally full in 1 year. Then the next year even more fuller, third year bigger, and you know, once I get the development of those branches, I really start to put some bends in them and twists in them and really build the trees up and make much fatter trees. So you saw all the little cuttings I had of Shinpaku. These are the ones more in pots, so they're much more advanced. I know there's a couple of little pines that I've twisted up and so on, but that's the one that I'm grafting. But have a look, these are the more advanced Shinpaku stock that I got. So there's quite a lot there. There's a big one there. That's going to be future layering tree, but look, there's quite a bit here that I get to play with, and these are a bit more advanced, and I'll lift them in the pots for now, just to show you that, yeah, there's a lot. These are all air layers or cuttings that I've taken over the years. Mostly air layers, the bigger ones are mostly air layers, and you would have seen these trees many times in my videos, and we'll see them over the course of this year when I start to work on them. And here's a big black pine you guys are used to seeing. It's going around the right. See, this is the massive radiata pine that I've got up here. Looking really nice. Now you would have seen these minis put in the show and on display at the show, so they're still doing really well. I haven't really touched them. I just let them rest. It's looking really nice, this tree. Get this tree. That's another trident there, really nice one. I didn't repot this year. With the moss growing on the trunks, I probably got to clean that up a bit, but looking good. This is another little one from the show, looking spectacular. It's got that, starting to get that little purpley glow that you get in winter here. A little trident root over a rock, another trident root over a rock, really old ones, these ones. Another trident root over a rock. Look at the ramification. I really enjoy the ramification on these trees. It's starting to come up good. Just a little fire thorn. That's another little trident there with a base, really big base on that one. That should come up all right this year. I did show you these guys. These guys are the ones I repotted into the nice Japanese pot. Now this one hasn't, it's about to flower. You can see the little flower buds on it, but I think because I repotted it, the flowers aren't really wanting to come out or really pop. Usually the flowers pop straight away and then the foliage, but I'm getting the foliage come up a bit sooner. This is a tiny little quince. Nothing special, but you can see the buds starting to come up. Remember this little trident. Looks great in that little pot. The Chinese elms are obviously popping already, so you can see that. Quite nice. Now these trees I'm planning to repot. If you've been following my channel for a while, remember this little guy? He's going to be repotted. I've got a couple of pots there that I've just put on the side to hopefully use. Another tree I'm going to repot. Another couple of ones that I'm going to repot. So you would have seen them before. That's that twin trunk that I did last year. Probably you guys have been following me on that one. It's quite nice, really, really healthy. Love a little black pine there, a little mini. The black pines didn't do that well this summer because of the weather was just crap. Wasn't the best at all. This is actually a magnolia. Nothing special, but I think it's about to flower. That's a flower bud there. So nice big fat base. There's a bit of bamboo that I like to grow in a pot. You would have seen this one. See how it's got a nice purplish tinge to it? I'm going to repot that into that pot. So that's what I do. I plan out my repotting and have the pots ready. Another little Shinpaku from the show. One of my favourite Shinpakus there. Get lots of comments on that one. That's doing well. And a beautiful little Shinpaku that I get lots of comments on as well. That's a little Ilex serrata that I picked up at the show. It's looking good. This big guy here is another Shinpaku that you've been following me with and having a look through. It's looking really good. Let's see what I can see up here. What's that? That's another little Shinpaku there. See that those stubs there? That's a Trident air layer that I took from the garden last year. I did an air layering video on that, but hopefully it comes up good. It's a little black pine there. I think that's is that the back of it? I think that might be the back of it. That's a little Chinese quince, not little, but it's quite a nice size. I can see budding a bit closer when I'm a bit closer up to it. See, I've got another bamboo one happening. I've got a black pine at the back there, which I'll come through. That's a lovely big olive. Actually, starting to really like this olive. It's coming up really good. Probably a bit more work I need to do. And then there's at the back there's another ginkgo. All right, guys, so that's a nice little quick walkthrough. As I said, I just got a little courtyard, but lots of trees in there packed in. Hopefully you guys saw something you liked and enjoyed. These trees are, coming back into spring, starting to look good. I'm really happy with the size of my collection as well now. It's a bit more maintainable, but I keep adding trees to it always. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough, and we'll see you guys around.